Hello, Fox Squad. My name is Akira Strix, or Trickster Fox, whichever you want to go with.
And this is Andrew, the YouTuber critic, reviewer of games, movies, YouTubers, TV series, and streamers. And welcome back to The Force Unleashed.
Now, hopefully, this time I have the audio issues with the game audio fixed. I won't know until I finish recording. But I don't want to repeat the same mistake twice in a row. So, last time, if I remember correctly... Wait, I just looked at it earlier today. Starkiller went and took care of Castan Paratus, then went to the Jedi Temple a second time. And then afterwards...
Vader somewhat betrayed us. Then we found Kato.
Or Coda, who is right there.
What are you looking at, boy?
And now we are... trying to find General Organa, I believe.
Not just yet. Right now, we have to get back to the Jedi Temple for the third and final time. Because in the ending cutscene from last week's part, or last week's episode, something is pulling Starkiller back to the temple. And of course, since I'm going back to the Jedi Temple one last time, I decided to put on the Sith robe. So that means that we can talk perfectly over the cutscenes this time, I'm hoping. Of course, my nose picks the worst time to itch. That's literally the most irritating thing.
This time the troopers are ready.
Yeah, they're not going to fall for the same trick twice.
Never mind.
Except I have Force Lightning on my side.
You're no match for the powers of the dark side, bitch.
Well, I mean, I have dark side abilities, but I'm technically not a Sith anymore. Or maybe I am just a rogue Sith. I don't know.
Well, you're still considered under Vader, since he put you on this little secret mission.
Yeah. Yeah, so I did some research on the whole story of this game. And it doesn't matter if it's this version or the Ultimate Sith Edition, which you can get on Steam, of course, and everything else. Or the more HD consoles, I should say. Apparently, when Vader went to Kashyyyk in the prologue and took care of Kento Merrick and took in Galen Merrick and raised him as Starkiller, turns out Palpatine knew about that. And in fact, that was why Vader went to Kashyyyk in the first place, because he was under orders from Palpatine to find Kento's son and take him in as his apprentice. Admittedly, that is pretty stupid, because because that means that Starkiller was no longer a secret apprentice.
Oh god, I'm glad they cut that out from the original game then.
Well, it was. Well, I mean, it was implied already that that Palpatine already knew about it. But it's still pretty dumb because, you know, what's the point of Starkiller being, you know, the secret apprentice if it's not really a secret? Kind of defeats the purpose, if you ask me.
Agreed.
Yeah. In fact, in Soul Calibur 4, since you can play as Vader and Starkiller in those games, and yes, their roles are reprised once more by Sam Witwer and Matt Sloan, respectively. I believe in Soul Calibur 4, he's still referred to as the Secret Apprentice, or maybe just the Apprentice. I don't remember which. I'd have to see Clement's
To be honest,
videos
I don't
again.
remember. I don't remember much myself. I remember only watching the endings for all 3 Star Wars characters once.
Yeah, and
Yes, there were 3 Star Wars characters in Soul Calibur 4, guys.
yeah, there was
Each of which were console exclusives.
Yeah, so I believe they were. Yeah, I knew there was Starkiller and Vader, but I think Yoda was also a playable character.
Yeah, Yoda was for the Xbox 360 version.
So what did that? So who was available for the PS3 version then?
I believe that one was Vader, because I remember seeing his face. And I think Starkiller was a DLC character.
Okay, I see.
I could be wrong. I'm sure someone in the comments will correct me.
Well, depending on who knows about it in the first place, anyway.
Heck, if Kat's editing this episode, I'm sure they'll tell us.
Yeah, I'll ask her about that when I'm done recording here. But yeah, it was still pretty dumb that... It's still pretty dumb in terms of details where Palpatine somehow already knew about Starkiller being Vader's apprentice when it was supposed to be in secret.
To be honest, not as dumb as Palpatine making multiple clones of himself.
And the fact that that was how they brought him back in Rise of Skywalker still does not sit well with me.
Yeah, as much as I actually enjoy Rise of Skywalker, the whole reveal that he had this whole cloning process for a good long while, and the fact that Rey is technically his grandson, granddaughter, brain.
Yeah, I was about to say granddaughter because Rey's a woman.
But yeah, and the fact that reveal happened, my brain just went like, okay, sequel trilogy, I've been supporting you for a while. Episode 2 of this trilogy did not do that well. You're getting me good and hype with this one so far. But why did you pull the rug under me with this kind of bullcrap?
Yeah, because when Palpatine quote unquote dies at the end of Return of the Jedi.
There you go.
Yeah, I got there eventually. That was supposed to be the end of him. So what was the point in bringing him back? Like, that's not a good, because to me that is not a good way to bring back to win back the fans of the original trilogy. Like, even if, like, say what you will about say what you will about the prequel trilogy, those movies are still canon. Like, even
I know everybody likes the original sequel stories that went on via the books and video games.
Yeah, Dark Forces 2 and the other games with Kyle Katarn as the focus. Yeah, it is kind of a shame that those games are sadly not canon anymore.
But they're still considered like legends, so
yeah.
That's just basically, even though Disney said they're not canon, they are respecting history by just saying, oh, these are legendary stories. At least that's what I want to say.
Yeah. And I know I could have possibly, and I know I could have easily picked Mysteries of the Sith or Jedi Outcast to play instead of this game, but those games would take longer to record.
Yeah.
Well, at least Mysteries of the Sith. I don't know about Jedi Outcast. But also, I've said this when I've talked about the sequel trilogy as a whole. I still would have preferred the idea of Last Jedi having Rey and Kylo switch roles instead of what did happen personally, because oh dear.
Yeah.
Game's chugging in terms of frame rate for a bit there. I don't know why.
Yeah. Considering this was a port of the PS2 and Wii game, limitations.
Yeah, I would probably say so. Hopefully it's just that part of the room. Oh.
Oh boy, I remember this part.
Man, I will not allow you to corrupt him further.
I am guiding him toward his destiny.
And I'm saving him from yours. You don't need to fight me. You can still turn away from the dark side.
The dark side is all I have.
Okay, that line. Okay, the way that the subtitles read out, it made it look like he was supposed to be like Starkiller was supposed to be shouting that, but he wasn't. Even though I have the volume turned down a little bit lower than last time, I could still tell that he was just talking calmly when he said that line. I don't know if it's any, I don't know if it's any different in the Ultimate Sith edition, because this exploring the Jedi Temple in the Ultimate Sith edition was a DLC chapter. But yes, we're actually having another fight with Kento Merrick, or rather his spirit, I guess. And he fights exactly the same way he did when I fought him as Vader in the prologue.
A slice, Godpash.
But of course, at this point, Starkiller doesn't know the truth yet. Because I've said a few times already that canonically Starkiller's real name is Galen Merrick, and Kento Merrick is his father. Well, I mean, we knew that, but Galen Merrick is his real name.
Here we go.
No,
Oh!
I pushed the wrong button by mistake.
You were just into the action too much.
Yeah, I was also spamming the lightsaber attack button too much, so that was a whoopsie on my part.
And this one is more high-paced than compared to some of the other battles that we had already.
Sadly, yes.
I never wanted this for you. I never wanted any of this for you. I'm sorry, son.
Father?
Dur, 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 dur.
Yeah. So, the truth has been revealed. He knows who his true father is.
I was beginning to worry.
Needing the old man.
I'm starting to wish that I had.
I was right to come here. I found...
What you found is none of my business. But I have been contacted. We're heading to Kashyyyk.
Okay. So,
If only
first thing we're
Master
gonna do
Windu
is
was
change
here.
the color of the lightsaber. We're gonna keep the combat crystal the same, but we're also going to be changing the saber hilt to this one.
What do you want?
Ah, nice pick.
Yeah, for Kento's hilt.
I will achieve my primary programming.
So we're going to Kashyyyk.
Well, we're going.
Need a dry.
Well, I mean, technically, we're going back to Kashyyyk. And we're going to be going in Kento's robe for this particular level. General Koda has been contacted by opponents of the Empire. To gain their help, you must investigate the Wookiee homeworld of Kashyyyk.
Oh yeah, this is the first level before we go find General Organa.
Yeah, and
We've reached
if I
Kashyyyk.
remember right,
I still think this
yeah,
mission is too
because I
dangerous.
believe this
The
time we
planet
can
is
actually talk
completely
over the
controlled by
cutscenes.
the
Hopefully,
The contact better be reliable.
I trust him. He smuggled me to Cloud City, and he's an old ally to the Jedi Order.
I was actually
All
going to
you
say
need to
that
know is there's something very
Bail
valuable for him
Organa,
down there. You get it, and maybe he'll agree to help you fight the Empire.
Get what?
who, by the way,
Patience,
is the
boy.
same guy who took in Leia after the events of
Have we been
the
spotted?
Revenge of the
No,
Sith.
the cloaking device is fully functional.
Take us down.
In this game, they actually, very much like the Ultimate Sith Edition, when we do eventually meet him, he is played once again by Jimmy Smits, who did the modeling, who the character model was obviously modeled after, but also returns to do the voice of the character. So this is an actor returning to do a familiar Star Wars role. Which I thought was pretty cool.
Nice.
But, so, in case you're not familiar with this game, Fox Squad, so, we're back on the planet of Kashyyyk, and we had not been here in terms of this game since the prologue, where I played as Vader. But now that I'm here as Starkiller, the reason that we have been sent here is because Bail essentially, like, it's not revealed until after we're done, but we're here to rescue Leia, who for obvious reasons is not voiced by Carrie Fisher. Well, mainly, and that was obviously because Carrie Fisher was obviously much older by the time this game originally came out, which was, of course, 2008.
So trying to mimic her original voice for the game was definitely not on the palette for her.
Yeah, that would, yeah, it wasn't like what Sean Connery did for James Bond in the From Russia with Love game. Which I wouldn't mind playing at some point, but I'm not going to play it right now, obviously. But it's a pretty decent third-person shooter.
To be honest, I'm looking forward to this upcoming James Bond game that's coming in the future. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, because we haven't had many James Bond games for a while, honestly. Like, the last one that I played that was recent was, I think it was called Bloodstone.
And to be honest, the last James Bond game I played that was, like, up to date for the time was the remake of GoldenEye.
Oh, GoldenEye Reloaded or something like that.
I think it was just called GoldenEye. It was on the Wii.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Wii version. Even though, like, there was
To be honest, that's the closest I've ever gotten to actually playing Call of Duty online.
Yeah. And I mean, if you were playing the Wii version, especially for the time, it was a pretty decent, like, first-person shooter for a console that really needed it. And that was just, and I believe that was just before the Metroid Prime trilogy came out as well. But the less I talk about the Metroid Prime trilogy, the better, because I already have discussed my issues time and time again with that series.
You can definitely get along well with the people of One Woman Corporation. Because the people there, they are not a fan of the Prime trilogy themselves. And I think I can understand why there are some people who are not a fan of the Prime trilogy, because for, like, regular Metroid fans, it's just a step in a different direction for them.
Yeah, yeah, for me especially, it feels like too big of a step too drastic of a step because and because it's like it's obviously just it's just coincidence that Nintendo only happened to release it or happened to be working on it by the same time the first Halo had come out. Like any differences, like any similarities between Metroid Prime and Halo at the time were just pure coincidence, nothing more.
Yeah, and let's not forget, Nintendo is one of those companies that likes to try to innovate with everything. Their systems, their IPs. I mean, do I have to remind everyone of Prime Pinball?
Yeah, there was that, of course. But if I'm being completely honest, yeah, and by the way, in case you didn't notice, we're finally facing off my least favorite Stormtrooper enemies, which are the ones with the jetpacks.
And we dealt with a good amount of them already in
Yeah.
the previous level.
Yeah, and I took care of some Wookiees, and that might have been a big mistake because Mr. Jetpack is still alive.
Die, Jetpack Man! Die! I think you got him.
I only have enough room for one Mandalorian with a jetpack, and his name is Jango Fett. Let's not forget Boba Fett.
Yeah, here, Django's already dead.
Well, yeah, by this point, yes.
He's been dead.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know that you
I played Bounty Hunter back on May the 4th.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
But to be honest, it feels like one of those games where I might just want to play on my own. Sure, there's a lot of games out there where I would love to show off and just try it out and play it in front of everyone. But I feel like there are some games out there that I just want to play on my own.
Yeah, that's fair. And I mean, I think another choice that I would have picked if I wasn't going to settle on this one would have been the story mode for Battlefront 2, classic Battlefront 2, I should specify. Since I have that through Steam. But honestly, speaking of which, very much like Bounty Hunter, Tamora Morrison was involved with that as well. In terms of certain voice work, certain bits of voice lines, I should say. Because if you remember from the prologue of this game, the troopers that were fighting alongside Vader on Kashyyyk were the 501st Legion, and that's basically the guys you get to play as in the story mode for Battlefront 2.
The classic of the Stormtroopers, not gonna lie, because when you're talking about Stormtroopers, everyone brings up the 501st.
Well, okay, yeah, I guess I can see that. But that's because I guess it just goes to show that there's just a huge fan base for like the original Battlefront 2, and honestly, I don't blame them. It's really good.
Jetpacks.
Yeah.
Die!
And I still remember the trailer for Battlefront 2 when it was coming out fondly. Especially since it came packaged in with like the DVD set for Revenge of the Sith. Which I guess makes sense because that both the movie and the game and that game came out around the same time. They both came out the same year. And yeah, there's that Imperial shuttle, which is how Leia is going to get out of here. But we have to get to her first. Ah.
Protect the Wookiees!
Okay, those guys are dead.
Kill more of these guys.
We'll have none of that, thank you very much.
Yeah, enough with the turrets.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I like actual stormtroopers. And keep missing your every shot.
Yeah. Those poor guys will never live that down. Oh, it's good to see.
No,
Oh, it's good to see. Oh, it's good to see these guys have their bow. Yeah, these guys actually have their bowcasters.
But to be honest, we still should give stormtroopers some credit. I mean, they did actually gun down a good amount of people during the opening scene of Episode 4.
Yeah, there was that. But of course, that was during a time when. But of course, when that movie originally came out, you know, it was a different time. And oh no, you stay off of the Wookiees. And you know, Star Wars obviously wasn't a franchise yet.
It's like they didn't even know how big of it's gonna be during the time.
Yeah, George Lucas was definitely way ahead of his time. And actually something I actually have to give credit for with the holiday special for as problematic as that is, it did do two interesting things, which were the Starkiller. How were you able to slice it without touching it? This is very strange.
Or even trying to lift it up for that part.
Yeah. Actually, wait a minute. Let me try some Force Lightning and see if I can. The Wookiees are pretty resilient. Of course, I gotta be careful when the walkers fire their missiles, because it's usually when I have to be very careful, and I think that Wookiee... No, that Wookiee's still alive because he's still firing at a walker. And this is not the last time we have to do this, by the way. There's at least one other time where I have to...
Oh, here we go!
Yeah.
That looked a little better.
Yeah.
Because before, you were pretty far away.
Yeah. But like I was...
Again?
Yeah. But like I was saying, the holiday special, the two interesting things that came out of that were the animated segment, which introduced Boba Fett as a character.
Yeah, I actually like that, to be honest.
Yeah. And the other was the fact that that even though we spent a lot of time with Chewbacca's family, quote unquote. No, they were confirmed to be Chewbacca's family, actually. But it was a prediction for what Kashyyyk would have looked like, and we wouldn't see like proper indications of Kashyyyk until Revenge of the Sith. At least in terms of the movies. I don't know if there were any games. Oh no, wait, no. There was the Clone Wars game on PS2 and GameCube.
Wrong way.
Oh, okay. That showed us what Kashyyyk would have looked like, which is obviously where Chewbacca is from. And the reason I wanted to bring that up was because of when JonTron was doing his Starcade series on his channel. He kind of had the assumption that because of Chewie looking the way that he does, you know, that like he's supposed to be in a cave or something, and maybe that might have been the original intention. I'm not sure. Only only Lucas himself would have known that. But you know, lore changed. Lore changed as the later movies came.
The years went by and the story changed.
Yeah. Also,
even before Disney decided to take over.
Yeah. Yeah, like
So you want to blame Disney for everything? blame Lucas for a good amount of lore change.
Yeah, I mean, because I think one of the most well-known changes that he made was when he was still working and writing on Empire Strikes Back with the "I am your father" reveal from Vader. Yeah, that scene was going to be, and that scene would have been very different if he had left it as it was before changing it.
Oh, how so?
Well, because when he has that confrontation after slicing off Luke's arm or hand, like the most of the conversation would have still gone as it is in the actual movie. But after Luke says he told me enough, he being Obi-Wan, and he would have continued saying he told me you killed him because he's talking to Vader.
Yeah.
The original line was going to be, no, Obi-Wan killed your father. Yeah, so Obi-Wan would have been revealed to be the villain, I guess, or not the villain, but the one who killed Anakin Skywalker, quote unquote. But I guess that didn't sit well with Lucas, and he thought it would have been interesting, especially at the time, to make it so that Vader was actually Anakin the entire time. Oh boy. Oh no.
Help back! Help back!
Oh, please get that. Okay.
Yep.
But that would have, but still, that would have been a very dramatic change, very drastic change to the series if
it kept the way it was.
Yeah, like and also and I don't know if this one's true or not, but apparently I know it would have been revealed that Luke was going to be a twin, but the twin sister that he had was not going to be Leia originally. So that was another last minute change. But it does make the kissing scene in Empire Strikes Back a little bit more awkward because of that.
Especially when they begin to feel like Lucas added that small hint when Leia felt Luke in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, like she was also Force sensitive.
Oh, fudgicles.
Yeah, so this guy that we're fighting, I forget his name, but
this part is definitely easier than the HD console version. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. Okay, Ozzik Stern. So, in the Ultimate Sith Edition, this guy gets proper backstory through cutscene before we fight him, of course. But in this version, he's just another run-of-the-mill Imperial officer. Which I guess is not too much of a drastic change, because
to be honest, though, his boss fight is easier in the HD version, mainly because of the fact that he just goes down pretty easily if you strike him a good number of times. But here, you have to destroy the shield generators that they have here.
Yeah. I have to be careful because of the fact that...
But the HD version still has its own difficulties, because not only do you have to take him down, but there are a lot of droids and stormtroopers around, even death troopers, that just get in your way while you have to break down a shield generator that is surrounding Kashyyyk.
Yeah. So this version definitely has it a bit easier. But I guess, something that I but just in case everybody doesn't remember, this version of the game was, well, it was the remastered version. I know it was remastered by Asper, but or Aspire. I'm sorry,
However it's pronounced.
okay, but Chrome Studios was the one that originally handled the Wii and PS2 versions of what this is a port of, or a remaster of, I should say. Alright, so now that we have the shield generators taken care of, we can now actually fight Augusto properly. Or at least as properly as I can, because, you know, a Jedi, or a apprentice, sort of Vader against a Walker. Still kind of at a disadvantage because of the height issue, and obviously because...
Maybe you should bring him down to size a little bit.
Exactly.
Use the Force.
Yeah, the Force, I might as well use it.
Yeah. You don't have these fancy space wizard powers for nothing.
Yeah. That's very true.
A good couple more shots should do the trick.
Okay, there we go.
Out.
Oh, good thing that was
There we go.
Okay, gotta be careful with the heavier ones because they don't go nearly as far.
Yeet. I think he just kicked it like a cake ball. He's almost down for the count.
Yeah, but I gotta let my force meter. Or I can just do that. That's easier.
Yeet! Ding!
See ya. Alright, now let's go see Leia. Oh, and R2 is with her. I forgot about
I should have
this.
expected the Emperor would send an assassin. It's a coward's tactic.
I do not serve the Emperor. I'm here with Master Ram Koda.
Master Koda is dead. Killed above Nar Shaddaa. My father...
Your father? He's Koda's contact. How long has he been feeding Koda information on Imperial targets?
How do you know?
Because Master Koda survived and he sent me to find you. Now let's go.
Well, you've done your job.
Yeah.
You can return to your ship and tell General Koda that my father will be extremely grateful.
What about you?
Is there still an Imperial transport on the landing platform?
Yes, but I think the pilot might be dead.
And what makes you think I need a pilot?
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
interesting.
for the line delivery.
Yeah, and pretty interesting that
Her
R2 is with her.
Bail Organa, my contact in the Senate.
I want to talk to him.
You can't.
I just rescued his daughter on a planet overrun by stormtroopers.
You can't talk to him because I can't
Let me
find
just check
him.
and see how long
He's
we've been
gone
recording.
missing,
Okay,
boy.
38 minutes so
when?
far.
Bail tried to recruit me to rescue Leia.
And we were planning 4
refused.
levels anyway,
Went in
so...
search of
Yeah.
Another Jedi, Master Shakti. I warned him it would be too dangerous, but the fool
Oh,
went after her anyway.
Coda mentioned
alone.
Shakti. I guess that means we're
And
going back to
vanished as soon as he
Felucia.
landed on
Felucia.
Mm-hmm.
But we are obviously not facing
Force is strong
Shakti
in you,
a
my
second
boy.
time because
to be able to sense my
Well-
She's
thoughts.
dead.
yeah, well, we killed her last time.
Then you should already know our next mission. We're going to Felucia to rescue Senator Organa.
All right.
But there is someone else on Felucia we gotta be wary of.
What do you require, Master?
Gotta dress appropriately. Senator Bail Organa has vanished on Felucia. Go to Felucia and find him. I think this trip might actually be a little bit quicker than the first time because, yeah, see, there he is.
Eat up,
Yeet.
Senator.
Why are you keeping me here, Maris? Your master would be disgusted with you.
You're something to trade if Darth Vader finds me. Now shut up and eat. And if you're thinking about escaping, just remember that my new pet is very hungry.
Hold on, let me see if... Okay, so... Let's turn down the brightness.
It's a little too bright.
Yeah, because you probably could also tell that, you could probably also tell that, the subtitles were mixing into the brightness as well. So white on bright, yeah, white on bright is not a good combo.
All right, we're on Felucia. Time to find us the senator.
Looks like Organa made it this far.
Where will you start looking for him?
Where I first confronted Shak Ti. If Bail was searching for the Jedi Master, then he might still be nearby.
But then of course there's Shak Ti's former apprentice. At least as far as this game is concerned, Maris Brood, I believe her name is.
Dangerous having him with us. If he discovers who you are, he'll expose us both.
I think this is the only appearance she makes in this game because she doesn't come back.
Yeah, not in the any cutscene, and she only appeared earlier once.
Yeah, she wasn't a prominent character yet. Here she has a bit more importance.
All right, time to fight some Felucians as we make our way to the senator. Oh, never mind. We're dealing with the Empire, and I guess the Rebel Alliance.
Well, what will eventually become the Rebel Alliance. I guess it's literally just the like the bigger levels that are making the game chug just a tiny bit, but it's not so bad. It's not nearly as bad as it was in the Jedi Temple, so...
Don't move. You're surrounded.
They're not surrounded. You dead.
Slice! Kapow! Ink!
Yeah, something that I also want to bring up is that even though you're slashing all willy-nilly at enemies like the troopers and whatnot, their limbs don't come off when their body parts don't come apart when you slice at them.
Chic.
Yeah, so it's like you're basically hitting them with a laser wiffle ball bat than a laser sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that awful fighting game on the PlayStation. Masters of Terrakasi, I think it was.
Yeah, you do believe you're right with that one.
Yeah. Ugh.
At least Revenge of the Sith redeemed itself.
Yeah, like as a game, you mean?
Yeah, because there was a versus fighting mode on there.
Yeah, well, I mean, actually there is on this version, in this version of the game too.
Yeah, but remember, Revenge of the Sith came out before this game, so...
Yeah. Also, we can't forget that ever so famous alternate ending. Like if you finish the final fight as Anakin instead of Obi-Wan.
Well done, my apprentice. No, the Empire belongs to me.
Yeah, that's still a really interesting like what if ending. Okay, that's where I was supposed to go. Okay. I had to look at the map to see where I was going.
Yeah. Plus, look, there's enemies. You know you're going the right way when enemies appear.
Yeah, if the playthrough we did of Left 4 Dead 2 was any indication.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That was not fun.
No. We did the best we could, but if we were to revisit that game, we would need some serious backup.
Yeah, bring in both Kat and Ryan.
Well, it depends on if they have the game as well or not, which I'd have to ask them about.
I'm sure it's gonna be on sale soon. Cause, hang on, let me pull up a picture. Cause I managed to catch screenshots for all these sales that are gonna be happening for this year.
Okay.
On Steam. And the next one that's coming up, starting on May 26th, is Zombies vs. Vampire Fest. So I'm half expecting, like, Left 4 Dead 2 to go on sale.
Yeah, it would make sense because it fits into that box. That over there? Plus, very much like that Super Mario 64 co-op mod that I showed.
That you showed off earlier to me before recording.
Yeah, it is completely moddable.
We've got a problem here.
Let's see if I can get them to come this way. There we go. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Oh, the game's running a little bit smoother now because I cleared them out, or at least as many as I could.
Yeah.
But I don't need to waste my time with them right now because they're just going to keep respawning.
Ugh. I hate infinite respawns. It distracts me from progressing forward.
Yeah.
Where is Senator Organa?
Okay, here we go.
Where is he?
Why should I tell you?
Because you want to get it off your chest.
Oh, really good use of mind tricks.
You won't let me leave without telling me where the senator is.
My model's looking high as a kite.
Post without revealing the senator's secret location.
Well, where is Senator Organa?
The Jedi. She has him in the Takarian village.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
He's being held in the Takarian village.
We have a situation here.
Oh, you scumbag! That's what you get.
Well, he was gonna kill you off anyway.
Except I was quicker on the draw. Oh, and hey.
You know, he fires some shots at you.
Yeah. Oh, and hey, look down there.
Yeah.
Does that look familiar?
The Sarlacc is live and well.
Yeah. We're not going to be going through there, like in the Ultimate Sith Edition, though, so there's that.
Unfortunately, we gotta do the one thing that everybody hates to do in these kinds of games. Backtrack.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. But
hey, enough of the shockies.
Yeah.
We're the only one who can do the shockies.
Yeah, we're the main character, damn it.
Don't let him get away.
What's even funnier is that one game that I would have wanted to do, like, because obviously I had a lot of choices at my disposal for Star Wars games that I could have played for May the 4th, but like I mentioned, Battlefront 2, of course. Another one.
Yeah, and you also mentioned Secrets of the Sith.
Yeah, Mysteries of the Sith and Jedi Outcast. Another one that I would have gone with if I had the chance would have been the second Rogue Squadron game. But the problem that I have with that, as far as I know, and this is
Senator
a pretty
Organa,
common
Master
issue
Coda sent me to rescue you.
while this cutscene is going on, is that Rogue Squadron 2 seems to chug a lot on Dolphin. Yeah.
Don't worry, he's definitely angry.
Now, thankfully, I do own the game physically, but I didn't want to spend so much time dusting off the old GameCube and.
You're not crazy.
Oh shit!
You've just embraced the power of the dark side.
Yeah, and also those horns on her head were always there, so she didn't just grow them randomly. So don't worry about that. But yeah, also well, not stronger, but creepier looking versions of the Rancors.
And as the little title says there, it's a bull Rancor. Imagine playing as that Rancor in Kinect Star Wars for the Rancor Rampage.
That was easily one of my favorite segments in JonTron's video on that.
I think everyone prefers to talk about the Han Solo song.
The Han Solo
Kinect
dance.
Star Wars gets caught up.
Trying to cover, basically doing a Star Wars parody of who. What was his name?
I can't remember myself. Like, I remember the tune, but I forgot the song.
I think the song was. I think the actual song that it was parodying is called Lion Solo, but I can't remember if the artist is Jason Derulo or.
That sounds similar to Mr. Derulo, and that Rancor's just standing there.
And not so menacingly.
Yeesh. I'm not sure if that's part of the programming or somebody forgot to program it in when they were porting it.
Well, I mean, even if this game did have bug testing and whatnot, it doesn't mean they had time to fix it if there were issues. Ugh. And I mean, because the same could honestly be said for games like, again, Paper Mario Sticker Star, which is a de facto. Yeah, I have
not played it, but the battle system does look so confusing to me.
Yeah, and again, for anybody who does want context, Sugar Conroy did a whole series of videos talking about why that game really doesn't work. It is confusing in so many ways that it shouldn't be.
Yeah, to be honest, I'd rather play Color Splash over Sticker Star any day.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, Color Splash and Origami King definitely were steps in the right direction, but they still were held back in some ways by a lot of the same mistakes that Sticker Star started, and that was also why the Mario & Luigi Paper Jam game didn't go over so well.
Well, to be honest, I only heard positive things about Paper Jam.
Well, at least compared to Sticker Star, it was decent, yes, but the reception didn't go over nearly as well as it could have, simply because of the new direction that Sticker Star was going when it came out.
Well, considering it came out after the release of the Superstar Saga remake.
Yeah, there were subpar remakes of both, of not just Superstar Saga, but Bowser's Inside Story as well.
The fact they skipped over Partners in Time, which was the essential DS title for Mario and Luigi, just felt, ugh, why?
I think the reason they gave for why they skipped Partners in Time and went straight to Bowser's Inside Story was because, well, the reason that they gave was the fact that Bowser's Inside Story was the most well-received, and they wanted they wanted to be able to do the segment where you the segment of the game where you could play as Bowser Jr.
Ah, great. More Rancors.
Oh, great. As if one wasn't enough.
To be honest, though, Bowser's Inside Story was actually the true first Mario and Luigi game I ever played.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I could definitely see it being such a fan favorite. I can see why it was a fan favorite.
Yeah, and when I played Superstar Saga on the Switch when that came out, I was understanding why a lot of people raise it for one of the best RPGs since Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, and of course the sprites in that game of Mario and Luigi are the ones that were used for the Super Mario Bros. Z series. I mean, hey, it works.
Yeah.
It probably I know it probably would have been easier to just use the ripped sprites from Super Mario World, like especially the version from Super Mario All-Stars, the one that includes Super Mario World.
So many fan animations use those sprites.
Yeah, there was
and even updated them.
Yeah, there was also the there was the Rise of the Mushroom Kingdom series that the late renderings.
Oh my god, I forgot about that series.
Yeah.
I think one of my personal favorites is definitely Bowser's Kingdom.
Bowser's Kingdom. I don't think I've seen that one.
It's pretty hilarious. Considering it stars a Goomba and a Koopa Troopa.
Oh, I see.
Soon enough.
Plus, if you ever watch SMG4, hi guys! Hi, Steve. Came from that series itself.
Oh, that's interesting. I actually didn't know that. But yeah, Mara's Brood. Might as well talk about her a little bit before the boss fight ends properly. She's got lightsaber tonfas.
Very unique design there, to be honest. Not gonna lie.
Sure, that's true, but also, I hope she knows how to use them because she'd be cutting off pieces of her flesh with those, just from the sabers, the blade parts themselves being so close to her arms.
Yeah, that is a design flaw. And people said Kylo Ren's saber design was flawed.
Okay, you've won.
Well, yeah,
The
but then
senator is
again,
yours.
his lightsaber
need
was
to kill me
designed
now.
more like a broadsword.
Exactly. That's my initial thoughts, because the cross guards would definitely help out.
In a way, I would think. But also, Sir Henry from the No More Heroes series also technically beat Kylo Ren to it.
Just let me go. And I'll turn my back on the dark side.
I guess that's a fair point. Good God, to be honest, now I want to go back and replay the No More Heroes series myself.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have let her go free.
And that's the last we ever see of Maris, by the way. She does not come back ever again, as far as I know.
I don't even think she appears in a sequel. It's been a good while.
From what I do remember, I don't think she comes back at all in the sequel. But then again, we're not the same Starkiller in that game.
Little spoiler there. Still, the game is old, so
Yeah.
I don't fault.
Join us because
Yeah.
he's asking you to.
You're the first to really fight.
I was really hoping that I was really hoping that there would be like a remastered kind of like what happened with this version of the game, like the Wii version of Force Unleashed 2, which is what I had. Would have gotten like the remastered treatment as well, because that version of Force Unleashed 2 is way better than its HD counterpart.
To be honest, part of me has been tempted to pick it up.
In the meantime, Senator, make contact with your friends. We're gonna need all the help we can get.
But yeah, it was pretty nice to see Jimmy Smits reprise a role that he's done
My message.
in the past at this point.
Your mission goes well.
I have recruited others to my cause, but now I need your counsel. My allies seek a major strike against the Empire.
The Emperor rules the galaxy through fear. You must destroy a symbol of that fear. The Empire is building Star Destroyers above Raxus Prime. That
Okay,
shipyard
so
is your
Raxus
next
Prime is
target.
next.
Thank you.
Yeah, kind of making me glad that I chose to do 4 more levels this time, so that we only have 2 to do
Do not forget that you still
in the
serve
next
me.
recording for next week.
I came to find out where you wanted
And
to go next,
the
but it looks
secret's
like
out.
you've
Well, at
already
least to
been told where
Juno.
go.
Juno, this isn't what it...
Of course it is. You're still loyal to Vader. After he branded me a traitor and tried to kill you, you're still his
slave.
Then why did you defy Vader to rescue me?
I needed someone to fly the ship.
We both know that that's
Sure.
My being here has never
Yeah.
been about piloting. Sometime soon.
Yeah,
you will decide
there's
fate
the
of
obvious
not your master.
emotions he has
When
towards
you're faced with
Juno.
that moment,
Well, I mean, he obviously
remember
didn't.
that
Well,
I,
he obviously
too,
didn't
was
want her
forced
to
leave
get
behind
killed
everything I've ever known.
on the
Please.
ship where he woke up
Don't make me
either.
leave another
So
life.
there's that as well.
Yep, this is where we're gonna be stopping for today.
No, because Felicia was the 3rd level that I did so far.
We already got to 4 levels already.
No, because there
Jedi
was
Temple.
there was the Jedi Temple, then Kashyyyk, where we rescued Leia, and then Felicia was the one we just did.
Can I help?
Ah.
Yeah, so that's technically 3 levels. We still have 1 more to go. Sorry, Fox Squad, we're gonna be going a little bit longer this time because next time.
We're actually gonna get to the part where it's just the most memorable part of the game.
The Empire is using raw materials on Raxus Prime to build Imperial Star Destroyers. Destroy the facility and prove that you are ready to take on the Empire. Yeah, there was that one part that's pretty infamous.
Which is basically used as a back cover for like practically every single version. The Wii, the PS3.
What? Really?
No idea how I'm going to destroy that.
I do believe so.
Proxy and I have been scanning Imperial databases for information on Raxus.
Because everybody knows of that back cover.
Yeah.
Is using scrap metal from Raxus Prime
Just
to build
sitting
their
back
Star
up here for a minute.
And when I first saw that and I looked at the back of the box art and I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah, they really wanted to use that as a selling point. Actually, from what I was told, if I'm remembering right, like when this game was coming out, like originally, there was like a teaser trailer where somebody was in the Sith robe outfit from the HD version, and and you know what?
Them Jawas.
Yeah. But somebody was in the Sith robe outfit that you get in the HD version, and they were basically using the Force to take down the Star Destroyer. So that was kind of a prelude to something that you were actually going to do at least once in the game.
Yeah, the major selling point of the game.
Yeah, for some reason, LucasArts seemed to really want to make that a big selling point.
I think it's because of how much Force energy could be used to take down a Star Destroyer. Because Luke never did it. Heck, even with some of the other big battleships during the prequel trilogy, Anakin didn't do it, and he was considered the chosen one at the time.
Yeah.
Even Master Yoda, who could lift an X-Wing, could never do it.
Yeah, ugh.
It's like saying, hey, see this guy you're playing as? He's a Gary Sue.
Oh my god. What's actually
What are you doing there, Trooper?
Let's just get him back on track.
Basically, back onto the ground.
Yeah. Okay, no, we're not having this. Ah, not enough, huh?
Mercy?
Sorry, I'm all out. Oh, the melee guys especially.
Yeah, especially with their own little lightning sticks.
Yeah. Ugh. Okay, there we go. As soon as I hear them screaming out and grunting, that's how I know I took them down.
To be honest, it would be a little more fun if they did the Wilhelm.
But would you want it on repeat every single time I kill them?
It more so like every 20th killing or something, you know?
I think it might appear in this game at least once or twice, just as a funny reference or something.
I mean, considering the fact Star Wars is famous for using the Wilhelm so many times.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'm acknowledging the fact that the Wilhelm has been used in other pieces of media.
Yeah, I'm sure there were even movies, even before Star Wars became a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That used that same scream as well.
Yeah, I believe one time when I was researching it was part of a horror movie, I think, but I don't fully remember. I gotta have to do the research all over again.
Oh, great. We're fighting another walker.
More than just one.
Nope, just the one, which is that one right there. The game is not that dickish.
Yeah, the HD version was a little more dickish.
Ugh. Yeah.
Taking on 3 ATSTs was a bitch. Or what felt like 3. Not only did I have to deal with those, I had to deal with stormtroopers, deal with troopers that were using little Gatling guns. Just glad I didn't have to deal with any with jetpacks.
Yeah. Oh. Ugh. God forbid.
Ugh. And crushy.
And it is no more.
Oh, you broke my favorite toy.
These guys are still here, so we need to get rid of them. It's actually funny that just before we started recording as well, I was actually watching some of the Star Wars fanscription videos from Channel Awesome.
Oh god. Channel Awesome. Oh, that's a name I haven't heard in actually a few months.
Let's see here.
As much as I know the Nostalgia Critic helped inspire me to do reviews, I'm trying to be careful watching the videos there, since there's usually so much controversy with Doug and everyone else.
Sad but true.
Mainly with Doug.
Well, yeah, I know, sad but true. A lot of the fanscription videos that they put out were pretty cool. I think some of my easily some of my personal favorites were one that they did was what if Finn was the main character in the sequel trilogy, which I thought was pretty well done.
To be honest, that's how the climax of episode 7 was going. That was the initial thought for me as well.
Yeah, because in the trailers for when episode 7 was coming out, everyone thought Finn was going to be the main character, but kind of sad that he just became a side character because of that. He basically, I've said it before and I'll say it again, he basically would have been like a black version of Kyle Katarn.
Now imagine how many people will be angry with that.
Well, obviously that's not what I mean. He wouldn't have the same name, but just be a different, and have like a facelift or whatnot. That's not what I mean.
I know. I'm just saying that when it comes to Star Wars fans, it's hard to please all of them.
Same could be said of any franchise, really, but I get your point.
I'm trying to stay on the side of TikTok at times when it comes to Star Wars, where they just accept everything as canon. The Disney sequels, the series like The Acolyte, which I still actually watched yet to get my fair opinion on it.
But anyways, back to the transcription videos, just to kind of get back on track with that topic. Some of my personal favorites were what if Finn was the main character in the sequel trilogy for the Star Wars transcription videos they did. I think another one they did was... Actually, two other ones that I remember watching that they did were what if Luke died at the end of Return of the Jedi, and another one was what if Qui-Gon trained Anakin in after the end of the Phantom Menace. So basically, like, what if Qui-Gon survived the fight with Darth Maul in Phantom Menace? But then again, I didn't pay much attention to that one because I think what was his name? Star Wars Theory basically did videos like that already. And
It's over, Jedi.
no, it's not. But I think some of the other fanscription videos that were done were the ones based on Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi version, to be more specific. I think in order for those ones, the ones they did were what if Venom wasn't in Spider-Man 3. What if Spider-Man 4 happened, and what if the Sam Raimi version of Kirk Connors became the Lizard? And aside from that, there was also what if Harvey Dent was in Batman Returns, and what if Tim Burton directed Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. And I think besides those, the only other ones that I would consider my personal favorites are the Disney Elseworld fanscriptions that they did.
Okay, I just noticed that Kat actually texted in the general chat.
Oh, is Kat here?
Not in the call.
Over there.
All right, men, let's teach this one a lesson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she just texted like over 40 minutes ago. Wait, let me do math here.
Let's take this
6 now. She just messaged back saying, "Took you long enough." Just like I said, she posted that message in the general chat at 3:25. So 41 minutes after she sent it, asked the question.
Oh, good lord.
I am ashamed. I am ashamed. And if you are editing this episode, feel free to shame me through text all over the screen saying, "Critic is forgetful. Critic doesn't check his messages," and all that.
But kind of going back to what I was saying with the Disney Elseworld fanscription videos on Channel Awesome, some of my personal, I think a lot of my favorites that were done by those guys with the Disney related stuff.
Yeah, I actually seen one of those, and it was the Lion King one where Simba was raised by Scar, I think it was called.
Yeah, and they did another one like it where it was what if Hercules was raised by Hades.
Oh, I think I saw that one on topic, but I never watched it.
Yeah, some of my personal favorites were, or at least the ones I go back to a lot, are what if the Incredibles got older, what if Boo grew up, Boo from Monsters Inc., I should say.
Yeah, I know. I actually saw a bit of a fan comic a while back where it was just another day in Monsters Inc. And then, like, I want to say the FBI all came in through the monster world. Sully tried to figure out what's going on. And the director of the FBI walked in. And it's a she. And she just says at the end of the comic, "Kitty?"
No. Oh my god, really?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, that is crazy.
Imagine if an actual future Monsters Inc. actually went that way.
Oh, it just makes me sadder that we never got that directed DVD sequel with the Monsters Inc. because there was a directed DVD sequel planned, but of course I get why it didn't happen because
Wasn't it supposed to be planned under the Disney Toon Studios at the time?
That I don't know. But what I did know was that the premise was basically going to be that, after the events of the original Monsters Inc., Mike and Sully end up going into the human world to look for Boo because, for whatever reason, it's implied that it basically turns out that she moved to another house. And
yeah, I remember hearing that plan going around actually 2 years ago, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and I think the reason that when Monsters U came out, I think one of the biggest reasons that they didn't make a proper sequel to the first Monsters Inc. was because aside from Pixar not wanting to do the direct-to-DVD project that Disney had proposed, they just didn't know what to do with a slightly older version of Boo. But that was all. But that's quite all right with me because the sequel that we did get through fanscription filled the void in well enough. Although it's actually funny that for Boo when she's older, when she's a little bit older but still a kid, they used screenshots of. What was her name? Riley from Inside Out. And when Boo is supposed to be an adult, they use Aunt Cass, I think her name is, from Big Hero 6.
I can see some of the similarities.
Yeah, I mean,
But people forget that with Big Hero 6, that was strictly a Disney project right there.
Yeah, that wasn't by Pixar. Actually, what's funny was that was actually a Marvel property first. That's something
Indeed, and Baymax looked way different in the comics compared to how they portrayed him in the Disney film.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Actually, something that I didn't know until I looked into it not too long ago was that another property that was of Marvel was, get this, Men in Black.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Men in Black was actually a Marvel property before the very Sonnenfeld movies.
What, the actual fudgicles?
Yeah, because in the opening credits of the first Men in Black, like there's like a little bit of credits that say based on the Marvel comic series of the same name.
I need a neuralizer to forget about that.
Yeah, because
someone take me to Universal Orlando. I want to ride Alien Attack and get that neuralizer lashed at me. But that is a fun ride, if I may say.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
It's a little like shooting gallery kind of ride, similar to like the Buzz Lightyear attractions at the Disney parks.
Oh yeah, I remember the Buzz Lightyear one. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't know there was a Men in Black one that was like it. Wow.
It's Universal Orlando exclusive, to my knowledge.
Oh, well, I guess that's fair. But then again, I've never been to that park in Orlando, so I wouldn't know what it was like.
Yeah. To be honest, the last time I was there, they still had Jaws the ride.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and it's now replaced by the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Diagon Alley.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's fair because Harry Potter does have a very dedicated fan base, so it's not hard to see why.
Yeah.
I'm not
the whole... Like, also, last time I was there, Island Adventure did recently get Hogsmeade for Wizarding World. Nice little area, if I may say.
Yeah, I'm just a casual fan of Harry Potter as a whole. Like, I like it just fine. It's not like something that I would lose sleep over, but
same here.
But I enjoy it for what it is. The video games were actually, for the most part, were pretty decent too.
Number of times I really enjoyed playing Goblet of Fire on my OG Xbox when I had it.
And I believe the Game Boy Color version, like the handheld version, I should say, were pretty decent RPGs as well.
Some of them were RPGs. I think starting with the fourth game on the handhelds did not go the RPG route, and just more so like a top-down like puzzle game, I believe. To be honest, I need to watch Flandreau's videos on all the Harry Potter games again.
Yeah. But as for the Disney Elseworlds fanscription videos, I think...
Oh, I can't!
Yeah. As for the going back to Disney Elseworlds on the fanscription series for Channel Awesome, aside from the ones I just mentioned, some of my personal favorites were I think I said, what if Boo from Monsters Inc. grew up? What if the Incredibles, I guess mainly the kids, got older? Well, I guess the parents as well, because it's a superhero family. Basically making a new version of Incredibles 2 instead of the one we did get. Hey, everything okay?
Hello.
Oh.
Hi.
Yeah, I sit there, cat.
Yeah. Cat's finally here.
Hello. I am not using a voice helper.
Sure you're not. But going back to what I was saying,
My voice is truly is epic.
so basically what I was saying.
Epic voice.
But,
Epic voice.
Anyway.
But like
Hello.
but like I was saying just a little bit ago, I think the other Disney Elseworld videos that I liked from them were 3 of them were based on the Disney Renaissance movies, like I know, Andrew, you mentioned what if
Simba raised by Scar.
Yeah, what if Simba was raised by Scar. I mentioned what if Hercules was raised by Hades. Some that I go back to were what if Jafar won? What if Ariel was a siren?
Sounds actually pretty good. Compared to this, oh my god, the Twisted Tales books.
Oh, nice.
Those are actually pretty. That's a fun little series. Like it's just like a little change to the story, and it becomes a new story altogether.
Oh, I see. And the other one was what if Belle became the Beast?
Yeah.
Basically,
Funny enough, the Twisted Tale centered around Beauty and the Beast. The tagline was, "What if the Beast was cursed by Belle's mother?"
Huh.
Women.
Whoa.
But yeah, basically the way the what if Belle became the Beast video, it would pretty much end like the way that went in the fanscription video was basically the Beast, Prince Adam, turns back to normal, but his Beast ability, his Beast form basically transferred over to Belle. And get this, you would never guess who because they actually do end up journeying to, because I believe Adam, Belle, Lumiere, human Lumiere I should say, and Chip go together to find the Enchantress, and you would never guess who the Enchantress actually was revealed to be.
Who?
Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty. Yeah. Bet you didn't know that story was actually a crossover between Disney properties.
Sheesh.
Yeah, but that...
I wonder if the author of the Twisted Tales series could come up with something like that in the future.
But yeah, so yeah, it would have been revealed that Maleficent was the Enchantress that cursed Prince Adam with his beastly form that we saw in, well, the movie, Beast. But try to remember, Prince Adam, when he got that beast curse, he was 10. He was a kid when that happened to him. Like, that's the part of the story that everybody tends to forget. So, him being a bit bratty would have been par for the course, I think, simply because he was a child.
Words.
And when I found out that, in that story anyway, that Maleficent turned out to be the Enchantress the entire time, that made me drop my jaw. I was like, wait, what? Maleficent is involved in this? And so, and in kind of a weird way, it was kind of like, oh no, I just realized I'm getting low on health. Okay, never mind. But it really, it's like it was also kind of like a sequel to Sleeping Beauty in Disguise, sort of? Oh, okay, I need to get up there. Actually, no, I don't need to get up there. Not you. I'm really hitting these guys with the jetpacks. They're easily the worst enemy so far. And I'm not gonna lie, when I saw the fanscription video for What If Ariel from Little Mermaid was a siren, that ending still gives me chills. Because it ends with this scene where two men who are confirmed to be from Arendelle, I'll get to that in a second, they're just out on the water where it's very cold.
Okay.
And they hear a certain harmonizing voice in the distance, along with the silhouette of a certain figure.
Juno, I'm in position. I just have to...
So yeah. That ending still gives me chills.
Isn't good.
Like hearing Ariel's voice. Ooh.
Man.
Oh yeah, and remember the Shadow Guard from Nar Shaddaa?
Yeah?
Well, we're fighting another one. Oh, and he can summon Shadow Creatures.
Man.
And I think after the What If Ariel Was a Siren video was had come out, they basically, like the guys who came up with that, I think it was Rob and Walter. Yeah, because a lot of the ideas I think come from Walter. He basically did a trilogy of stories based on Frozen, where Anna became the villain of Frozen, and she and in the second part of that story, she basically gets found where there's like those guys who control the elements in Frozen. Are they trolls?
Yeah, they're trolls. Rock trolls, to be precise.
Yeah. So yeah, and yeah, because I was gonna say, I think there was like a rogue troll called Braun, who I think tried to control all of the elements, and that ends up going to a reawakened Anna, but Kristoff dies, and in the third and final part of that little trilogy,
One of the Star Destroyers is headed right for you.
yeah, and yeah, the infamous Star Destroyer bit is coming up, but don't worry about that. It's just a cutscene this time. So this makes it not nearly as infamous. See, I'm not even pushing a button. but also the third video, or the third part of that trilogy, is Anna. Basically, she becomes an explorer. She goes around the world exploring, basically. Kind of like, I guess, kind of like Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, but not nearly as cool.
Women.
You there, boy? Has the shipyard been destroyed?
Turns out that,
I repeat, has the shipyard been destroyed? Respond! Boy!
Relax,
it turns out that it gets revealed, like in that particular video, Anna and Elsa seem to have a brother. Do you know who it is?
You did well out there,
Tarzan.
boy.
I heard that fan theory so many times.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
Fanscription actually
We
ran
should
with that
contact Senator Organa
for
and
the
start
third
planning our next
part,
attack.
and he
I'll
ends
handle
up
that. In the meantime,
like
I've set up a
like
meeting
the
with another
events of the
Imperial
Tarzan movie. I
contact,
think
Senator
would have been
Garth
considered
Bell-Iblis.
canon,
He's a
but
firebrand in the Senate with no love for the Emperor. He wants to discuss an
but of
alliance.
course,
Let's
Jane
plot a
would
course
have
for Cloud City.
like the way they told it was that Jane went back to England with her and Tarzan's daughter Josephine, and when Tarzan is reunited with Anna and Elsa, he basically controls the element of Earth, which I thought was pretty cool. Anyways, we're done with the Raxus Prime construction yard. We destroyed the Imperial Star Destroyer using the Force, which was a very infamous bit in the HD version of this game. And I believe now is where we will stop with Star Wars The Force Unleashed for the Nintendo Switch. And just in time, too. So, next time we will be heading to Cloud City. And we will be looking for another associate of Senator Organa's, but that will wait for next week. So until then, Fox Squad, I have been Akira Strix, or Trickster Fox, whichever you want to go with.
This has been Andrew the YouTuber Critic, reviewer of games, movies, YouTubers, TV series, and streamers. And that is Cat.
Or Constellation on YouTube.
And remember... 2 weeks in a row, and I don't have anything.
Size matters not?
That works.
Yeah, that'll work for now. Alright, we'll see you guys next week for what will be the final video of Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Take care, and stay frosty, Fox Squad.
Laters!
Ta-ta.